Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. This evening, returning will be Mr. Eric Davis. He's the chairman of the Board of Education, CMS. How you doing there, Mr. Davis?
Doing great. Great to see you again.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, tell us a little bit about, you're the chairperson for the CMS. What made you want to become a chairperson of that?
Well, honestly, I just enjoy being on a team, and I've always enjoyed sort of being captain of the team, and I'm just really thankful that my colleagues selected me to be in this role. It is a year-to-year role, and so it's determined each December, but it does afford me an opportunity to really be an outspoken advocate for our public school system and to promote the great things that our teachers and students are doing, and as well as to have a working relationship with all the colleagues on the board and with our superintendent and staff. So I really enjoy this role serving our community.
And you're doing a great job as the chairperson and the whole Board of Education. You're doing an outstanding job. This year right here, starting school year, I know last year we had a lot of problems with school closing and we had teachers either being reassigned or terminated, but this school year it's been a big change. And now I'd like to applaud. What's going on with the CMS?
Well, thanks. I do think that economically our worst times are behind us. I think we've weathered the worst storm, assuming the economy doesn't turn. And I really applaud our teachers and students for being so focused on their studies. And I think all of that just really culminated this past month when CMS was recognized by the Road Foundation winning the 2011 Road Prize.
Yes, sir.
And I tell you, the folks who won that award are not the people on the Board of Education, and it's not really the administration. It's our principals, our teachers, and primarily our students. And they were recognized for having closed the achievement gap more than any other large urban district, for raising the educational level of all students, for really doing what we're here to, and that's prepare young students to become adults and productive citizens in our community. And so my hat's off to our teachers and students who really earned that award.
I know you spent a lot of times inside the schools and stuff like that. What's that passion? What's it coming from?
Well, I think that's one thing that's great about living in Charlotte is we have a passionate commitment to our school system. We take great pride in our school system and the accomplishments that we made as a community in the 60s and 70s by coming together as one, integrating our schools, facing the challenges we have at that time and moving forward. I think is just part of our culture and history, and I think it's that same spirit that's in our classes today. Today the spirit is around every child, regardless of the circumstances of their birth, is going to graduate from CMS college and career ready, and we're not at that goal yet, but we have a passionate commitment to get there and to go beyond that. And I think what would be awesome is for our community to rally around that cause, that movement, and say we're going to prove it can be done, because we believe in our students, regardless of the color of their skin, regardless of their economic circumstances or their name. We believe every student can learn, will graduate college and career ready, and is going to be a productive member of our community. It makes economic sense.
Correct.
It's the best thing we can do to secure the safety of our country, and my gosh, it's what we all aspire for our own children and grandchildren. So I think it's a great movement to get behind.
Safety. Let's talk a little bit about the safety in the school. I mean, we haven't heard any incident going on in school, and that's a positive thing. What does that, I mean, especially with the combining of the schools together and stuff, there's still little to no incident going on. What's the factor of that?
Well, of course, the schools that came together where that issue was probably most concerned was at Harding, where Waddell students and Harding students were coming together with West Meck students. And my hat's off first to the students.
Correct.
The parents and the teachers, they spent all last spring and summer taking care of each other, building relationships, making sure that students would get what they need at their new school, wherever they were going. And particularly there at Harding, I think our principal there has done a wonderful job, but she's only been able to do a wonderful job because of the commitment of teachers and parents and then the students. Veroni Gamble has been awesome in making that transition work. there's just a host of parents and teachers that have really made that work, and it's because they care for students.
Correct.
That's what makes it work.
You know, I applaud the CMS, you know, because like I said, through all the things that we went through last year, it seems to be going around the corner, and we seem to be going into a positive direction. I know you mentioned also about the graduation of the students increasing. How does that play on the positive input that we're getting from the students?
Well, I think, so our graduation rate was around 66%. We got it to 69. Now we've got it to 73, almost
Correct.
74, which is really positive. It's heading in the right direction, but it's so far less than what we need it to be.
Correct.
And what we found is a couple of things are really crucial to helping our students graduate. Communities and Schools does a wonderful thing in our schools where they really take care of students. 93% of students who receive Communities and Schools services graduate. Okay. So you can tell it's working. We have a much more effective truancy court that's really helping students stay in school and stay on their studies. We've got a credit recovery program which is helping students who might have missed one little piece of a subject go back and master that piece, get credit for the course, move on towards graduation. But the thing that was really highlighted at our last board meeting was that our principals, Kelly Gwaltney's a great example, is taking an individual interest in every student. It's not a numbers thing, it's an individual relationship. And so at her school, Mallard Creek, she put together, along with the teachers and the student and parents, an individual plan for every student so they could march forward towards graduation. And if they got a little off track, there was someone there to assist them. If they got a little discouraged, someone there to boost them. I mean, that's what got you and me through school.
Correct.
That's
yes,
what
sir.
every student needs. And the result is 93% of Mallard Creek students graduated on time. It's that same individual caring attention for every student that's going to get the job done. Now, that's at the high school level. What we've really got to focus on is from kindergarten to 8th grade, ramping up the reading level.
Okay.
Right now we're at about 60% proficiency. Well, there's no way we're going to get to where we want to be with only 60% of our elementary and middle school students reading on grade level. So Ann Clark and her team are doing some great work at building stronger programs, more individual attention, more focus on raising that reading level.
Correct.
And that's what will create a sustainable year after year success for our students in CMS.
As a parent, what should I do to help the process go?
Well, of course, the first is just to be totally immersed in your child's
Correct.
life and education, and in some cases, you know, being demanding.
Yeah.
In other cases, just being loving and caring for your child. Others, be involved in the school, supporting the staff, the principal, giving them the support that they need, because it's hard work.
Correct.
In the school. Being involved in the issues the board faces, telling us what's working and what's not working for your students, and most of all, being a positive advocate for our school system. You know, there's so much negative news shared, and in fact, there's more positive going on.
It is.
In our school system, and it builds on itself. So when something's going right, share it with a friend. Tell someone to come to your school because you got a great school. You know, let's get behind our school system.
One of the major things I want to talk about is the interim superintendent, Mr. Hugh Otto.
Yes, doing a terrific job.
Outstanding job. I'd like to applaud you, Mr. Otto, for what you're doing and stuff. Tell us a little bit about Mr. Otto.
He's a native of Indiana, grew up sort of in the country, hard work, rural sort of background. He's been an educator all his life in Florida and Little Rock, Arkansas, and then here in CMS. He has a beautiful wife that I think they were high school sweethearts.
Oh, okay.
Grandchildren. I tell you, the best example I can give you of Hugh Otto was when we named him the interim superintendent. A parent called me and said, "You know, I don't know much about Hugh Otto. In fact, I'm not real sure he's very customer responsive. And I said, well, I find that real interesting because you remember when your school had those transportation issues that got resolved? And the lady said, well, yeah. I said, the reason they got resolved was Hugh Otto. He told the transportation staff, get in there, work with those parents and teachers, and let's figure this out.
Correct.
And that parent, oh, I didn't realize that was Hugh. He is a down-to-earth, hard-working, straightforward, what you see is what you get leader that inspires confidence and gets the job done. And I think he's doing a marvelous job running our system.
He is. I mean, and as far as the budget and stuff, I mean, there seems to be so many different, a lot of positive things coming while he's in that position. You know, I mean, because we had, I guess you originally thought there was going to be $100 million as far as the budget, and then you found out it was lowered down to 43 or something.
That's right.
You know, and that created a lot of financial things for the school system.
Yeah, and in particular, once those decisions were made by the county and state
Correct.
back in the spring and early summer, when Hugh took over as our interim superintendent, the thing that he accomplished so well was he got our staff really focused on what we need to do to open these schools on August 25th smoothly and effectively, and a lot of change. Schools closing, pre-K-8s being opened, students moving around, being reassigned, and the fact that our schools opened this year with almost no incident. It
Correct.
was incredibly quiet. And the fact that the schools are running smoothly is just a testament, well, one, to Hugh's leadership.
Correct.
But it's also a testament to the team we have. Our school system is bigger than any one individual. It's a team of skilled professionals who come to work and bust their tail every day for our students. And I think Hugh does a great job of representing and leading that team, but he would be the first to tell you that it's much bigger than him. It's Ann Clark, our Chief Academic Officer, Tyler Ream, Kelly Gwaltney, Kit Ray, some of our zone superintendents, Charity Bell, Sheila Shirley, our Finance Officer, Scott Murray, who leads our technology group. And you can go on and on
Correct.
through all the principals in our system. It's a team effort.
And that's outstanding. That's like I said, I applaud each one of you for being like a family. And the ultimate goal is for the better of our children in our community.
Absolutely, and you know, that word family sometimes is overstated, but you're exactly right.
Correct.
That's the feeling that's within the school system. You know, I don't know how it was when, but probably we had the same experience, Ms. Brown. You know, somebody could pick on someone. Don't you dare pick on my brother.
Correct.
I'm going to take up for him.
Yes, sir.
There's this close unity and support among the professionals in CMS, and it's a great team to be on.
Okay, I know they got elections coming up. Why is it so vital for the community to get involved in the elections?
Sure. Well, of course, the upcoming elections are around the at-large seats.
Correct.
So there's 3 seats that are open. So a third of the board will be elected this coming November, and it's one, we're at a crucial point. We've made our students have made positive strides the last 5 years.
Yes.
We've weathered through some serious financial challenges, and we've done that primarily by emphasizing results. That at the end of the day, what a parent and student want is for the student to get a good education. And by focusing on results, that causes us to look at things that need to change. Well, change is difficult and threatening and challenging for all of us. And so this year's election is really important in order to select leaders of character, leaders who see the value in all children
Correct.
learning, leaders who have the courage to push forward during difficult times for positive change, who are less about any ideology, but more about doing what's right for students and being willing to, frankly, take the heat for it. So it's a wonderful opportunity for our community to get behind leaders of character who can propel us forward, and I think that's the real opportunity each of us have to express as voters.
So we need to get more involved, active, find out exactly what all's going on, and get out there and, just like you said, vote.
Absolutely.
And vote for the best person for that position.
Absolutely. And you know, what's best is in different eyes.
Correct.
On, but what I would encourage is we need board members who not only bring different perspectives, but have demonstrated the ability to work with someone who has a different
Correct.
perspective, someone who wants to work with someone who's had a different life experience. Because that's what makes our community so fabulous, is the diversity. But we need leaders who are willing to compromise. That's a positive
Correct.
trait, not a negative, who appreciate the perspective that's different that someone else brings, who's a good listener. Those are the traits we really need in our leaders in order to find the best solutions and decisions for our students.
As far as the board right now, what are some positive things that you can say about your fellow board members?
Boy, there's a lot. I could take the rest of the show on this. I mean, nearly every one of us has, in fact, every one of us has either has a student in the system today, there's about 4 of us in that category, or has had someone in the system, or has a grandchild in the system. Okay. And as well as some board members who have worked in the system. So we are totally vested, and we experience the impact of our decisions today. Changing bell schedules, my family had to deal with that change.
Correct.
Lack of middle school sports, or the changes there, paying fees, we're experiencing that. So we are really in touch with the impact of our decisions. I think another thing, and I give Richard McElrath total credit for this. The first day we met nearly 2 years ago, he displayed a spirit of teamwork, of we are in this together, we may disagree, but we're going to treat each other as professionals. And in difficult times, he has been the leader that has demonstrated that type of professionalism, which is what's so needed. So I think it's that ability to rise above our differences and work together. And in fact, just a little bit of data, our voting record is 75% of the time, 75% of the board is voting together.
Oh, okay.
We're not a sharply divided board like is often portrayed. Now, there are some controversial issues where we will, but they're controversial. I mean, the votes are that way because they are controversial. But the majority of the work we do is highly collaborative, it's thoughtful, and it's with a focus on the students first. And I give total credit to the 8 colleagues I get to serve with for building that kind of spirit. And I hope it's a spirit that the community can feel a degree of confidence in, that the Board of Education, given our limited authority, is doing the best job we can for our students.
Being a chair, what do you like the most? I mean, because I know that has to be a very challenging position. What do you like the least about being the chairman?
Well, the least, obviously, is the challenges in meeting the variety of needs that our students bring. It's often just overwhelming, and also just unfortunately, the inherent negativity that is prevalent, and a lot of it is well-founded. I understand, but I have to admit sometimes that weighs me down. I have to work to, get through that, which is sort of human. But that all pales in comparison to the opportunity to work on a cause that's worth giving your life for. It's work in a community that is passionate about its students and schools, to work with colleagues that are really professional and are doing a great job. I just am really honored to be on the team.
Yes, sir.
And to have on the jersey, CMS, and to be part of a system that's recognized nationally as one of the best in the country.
I know when you talked about the award that you won abroad, what does that say about CMS, Charlotte Mecklenburg School System?
Well, it certainly doesn't say that we've arrived at utopia, but what it does say is that the hard work that our students are performing is paying off. The commitment and persistence of our teachers is paying off. That the strategies and the approach to focus on how well are students learning
Correct.
is paying off. What it also says is that we must do more, that we've got to rally around our students, we've got to push for change, we've really got to challenge the status quo in order to get to where we want to. We're at a great platform to begin that process from, but we've got a long way to go. And so this award says keep moving forward, keep pressing on, run faster, run harder, but you're running the right race.
And that's a positive thing because it's meaning that we're going in a positive direction.
It really does. You know, our students are learning more. They are growing more academically than they were you remember 5 years ago we were accused of academic genocide?
Yes, sir.
By Judge Manning. 5 years later, we closed the achievement gap more than any other urban district. Or we did, our students did. And our students did that not by the highest performing students dropping, but by all students moving forward, and by those who are coming to us least prepared moving forward faster. That's definitely the right path. That's exactly what we want to accomplish. But I'll tell you, Mr. Brown, I will not be satisfied. I'll not consider the mission accomplished until every child, regardless of the circumstances of their birth in this county, leaves our school system ready for adulthood with the skills and the education they need to go to college, go into a career, or join the military. And we have the ability to do that. We have the capacity. What we need to do is marshal the will to make it happen.
Let's talk about the strategic plan 2014. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. It's focused on how well are our students learning. In summary, it's two things. We want an effective principal leading every one of our schools, and we want an effective teacher in every one of our classrooms. So what does effective mean? It means doing what needs to be done to ensure that our students are learning at the speed they need to be learning, and that moving forward academically. It's a focus on making sure everything is in alignment towards promoting academic achievement for our students. And so we have elements in the plan of providing professional development for our teachers, accurate constructive feedback for all of our staff, not just our teachers, in order for them to improve their individual skills, an emphasis on technology, on the care of our environment, both within the school and around the school. But in summary, our strategic plan is focused on an effective teacher in every classroom and an effective principal in every school. And so what's needed to get there is our persistent focus on those strategies, and also for our community to rally around our school system, for our county's health and human services to provide the support our students need,
Correct.
For the city's neighborhood development and policing, what Chief Monroe does so well of providing a safe environment for our students, and then for every citizen to positively promote and support our school district.
What would you say would be the goal that the board has for this upcoming school year?
Well, it's certainly to continue down the path of accomplishing our mission, which is maximizing the academic achievement of every student in every school. And we're not there. We're taking steps in that direction. We certainly need to continue to raise the graduation rate. We need to raise the reading proficiency in middle school and elementary schools. We need to lower the dropout rate. But most of all, it's to move towards an individualized, customized plan for every student, so that every child, regardless of their age, is moving forward academically. And I think our staff is doing a wonderful job of strengthening their own skills. Correct. And supporting each other. We just need to support them more. So. Well, I was just going to offer this one. Ann Clark and her principals have done a fabulous job of promoting this idea of you're not in a grade as a student, you're in a certain class. And that really resonated with me because I graduated in the class of 1983, and that's something to really be proud of.
Yes, sir.
Our kindergarten students are in the class of 2024. They're not kindergarten students. They're in the class of 2024. And just saying those words charts forward, paints the picture of this is where I'm going. This is what I'm going to achieve. I'm part of a group, a team, that in 2024 we're going to walk across a stage in a cap and gown, be handed a diploma, shake our principal's hand, and move on to adulthood. Every one of our students is in a class, from the class of 2012 this year to 2024. And I think the more we think about our destiny that way, the more we'll be behind this movement.
When you attend a lot of these graduations, describe that feeling that you get seeing these kids, you know, this.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Yes, sir.
When a young adult walks across that stage with 13 years of preparation behind them from kindergarten through 12th grade, they are beaming, they are glowing. Their feet are hardly touching the ground. Right. And their parents are in the stands. The bright future is ahead of them. They've put in a lot of hard work, and their teachers are around them, supporting them even through that last day. It just doesn't get any better than that. It's an acknowledgement that hard work pays off, persistence works, character is valued, and that our teachers are doing an awesome job.
Mr. Davis, I'd like to say thank you for coming on the show and continue doing the outstanding job that you and the fellow board members are doing for our children, for CMS.
It's my pleasure.
Anytime you want to come back, sir, you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Audience, thank you for watching the show, and until we meet again, come on every Thursday at 5:30, and I guess we got some more time. Do have a website, www.paulmbrown.webs.com. You know, I just want to thank God for having us come on this show, the award-winning 2010 Educational Informational Program, and it's because of God first, my volunteers, and my guests like Mr. Davis, who comes and does our community real well. And I just want to say thank you and continue and be encouraged. Thank you.